Hello? Girl, what page are you on?
Hosting to my heels, where I belong down at the
Pink Pony Club. West Hollywood. Leaving Tennessee, so Santa Monica. You
my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. Baby, come on, how many she's gonna scream?
what have you done?
Big party clouds.
And you dance at the club, oh mama. Oh, just happen. I gotta stop.
It's where I belong down.
Ash, bust a move.
What's on? Huh?
I said bust a move.
Too late.
You guys missed it? I don't even know if you guys saw my whole entire dramatic flash dam drop.
We saw your butt.
We saw all of it. So, and go ahead, finish your calendar, Ash.
Ooh, that's a skill. That's a
It
cool
is a
skill.
skill. Yeah. She's
That's
really,
cool.
really talented.
Oh, I love that.
Are we ready?
I don't know. I think so.
I'm ready.
Sam, I'm only getting half of your notes because I can't. Oh, wait, never mind.
I was gonna say, I just pulled it up on Google Docs. It's here.
I couldn't get the Zoom right. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a mess today.
Only today, though.
Well, look, I can't. My OCD is gonna kick in really bad. Okay, so
Ready.
Sam, you go, and then
You're gonna introduce
or
Jordan.
do you want Jordan? Do you want to talk? Like, be like,
Introduce
hello?
yourself.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
And then
I like
tell me-
it.
so because I'm this horrible. But Instagram handle is Gardy and Flat and Faye.
It's
Garden
Fairy.
Garden Fairy.
Garden Fairy. Okay.
Garden Fairy. But garden with a Y because my name is spelled with a Y, so it's supposed to be like cute.
I love that.
It is actually a very, very cute handle.
Thank you.
And it like very sums up. That's so cute. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Ready?
Yes. Oh wait, did you talk about like how you have to wait for the green to get on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
sorry.
know if you can see it in presenter mode, but to avoid talking over each other, like we can either mute and unmute as needed, or you can stay unmuted, that's fine. But you'll see like the green thing come up. So for like the video side of it, yeah, that's when you'll be on like the main screen video, just in case. Yeah. If that makes sense. Because that's how we edit it. Cool. All right. Okay, welcome to Girl What Page You On, your new favorite book club where you get lost in the pages with your book besties. We are your hosts, Ashley, Speed Reader Parr, Kayla, Hot Tea on History Collins, and yours truly, Sam, here for the spice, Shariah. Today, we have a special episode reviewing the entire Empyrean series, and we're going to talk about our predictions and reviews and theories on everything Empyrean and what has happened after the Onyx Storm fallout.
And with this being our very special battle brief, we have a special guest one of my favorite people on Instagram. I follow her like it's a religion. I like to introduce Jordan from Garden Fairy with a Y. So Jordan, welcome.
Oh.
So, and Ash, I feel like there's something that we do need to warn people about. What is that?
It's the spoiler alert. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. You have been warned. This is our favorite part of gushing the tea. So, if you have not finished the books or you're just starting, stop now, finish the book, and then go watch our other episodes.
Awesome.
So, and then Jordan, because we want everybody to get to know you as much as I love watching your stuff. What is one of your like earliest memories of like falling in love with books?
Okay, so I'm very firmly in the realm of people who grew up reading the books that shall not be named out loud in order to learn how to read. So we've always been very bookish people in my family. My grandmother worked at a Barnes and Noble growing up. But one of my favorite memories is I was in the kids section, obviously, and I met this girl and we were chit-chatting about books. She was reading these books, I was reading these other books. We actually planned a book swap like that same day. Like our parents were with us and they were like, "Hey, like do you want to go home and like grab your books and we'll meet at the park down the street and we'll like trade." Yeah, it was beautiful and I love it. And it's very much like that is who I am as a person. It's still the
That's
same.
amazing. Do you remember the book that you swapped or the book that you got?
Yes, actually, they were the Pendragon series. I don't
Oh, they're so good.
literally no one has ever known what those are, but yes, yes, those books. Like I don't know how we got onto the topic. I don't even remember what I gave her, but I just remember that those are the books that she gave me and I was like obsessed.
When I started dating my husband, he got me hooked onto the Pendragon series. So I was
Yes.
like, you're right, not a ton of people, like it's not mainstream, I
Yeah.
guess, like the Aragon books were. But yes, I know exactly what books you're talking about.
Hmm.
That's kind of how like we all started, I feel like too, is well, I get like we always had to read for school stuff, but Sam definitely had like the bug early. And so like we all read Harry Potter, like we all did all the things, but like the other books, like My Goose Girl, I love that book. And Sam was the one that introduced that to me. So I definitely like feel that.
Yeah, it
Um,
was like really common to get like for Christmas like a book. It was like, and we would always do like the notes inside, like for, like enjoy reading, happy reading, all that. So yeah, that's amazing. Do you have a favorite genre to read? Is it fiction fantasy?
I like fantasy is the top tier number one. And I will go into category romance, but like it's like I like horror, paranormal, like sci-fi, like that bubble of things. If there's romance, awesome. But like fantasy, anything that's like so far removed from real life, that's it for me.
Yes, I hear ya. It's like let's get lost in something that's like so different than
Mhm.
reality.
I
That's
mean,
amazing.
I know that I've been reading a lot of that. I don't know if you've read the Iceland Barbarians. Alana
Yes, yes.
Mar. So I've been like cruising through them. They're good. Like you have to be like open-minded and just in for like a crazy sci-fi fun adventure. They're so good.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good.
So
all
you finished, obviously you finished the Empyrean series or what's out so far. What were your like overall thoughts or if you had to rate it, if you had to rate Onyx Storm specifically, we rate them 1 to 10 on vibes and 1 to 5 on spice. So what are your overall kind of thoughts on those? And you can do Empyrean as a whole or Onyx Storm itself.
Okay, Empyrean as a whole, like the vibes are 10 out of 10, no notes. That's it. Uh, um, Onyx Storm, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10, only because like I'm usually not super into like the travel montage gathering of allies parts of
Hmm.
this series. Like I'm very squirrely. I like when things are happening. I think that things are definitely happening and I love how much we're learning as we're going through. Like it's very satisfying. Like that's why like as even though it is a big travel montage, I'm like still super into it. And I'm only giving it an 8 just because I know that as we put what we've learned into play, it's going to be more like yes, 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 yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
um, and honestly, for Spice, I would really only give it like a 2. Like I'm not. It wasn't.
See, it's not just me. I said 2. 2. Her
I
other
can't
books were
remember.
higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 2 because we only got 2 chapters of spice in that book.
And 2 of them were right next to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ash, do you have a rating?
My spice rating is, yeah, like a 2.
What about for like Empyrean series so far?
Empyrean series is, I'll say 6.5, 7.
Oh
That's so
no.
low for
It's
her.
so low for
I know.
you.
Maybe it's because I've been reading other book, like I've been cruising through other books, and I would just like attached to Vi and Zayd and the whole crew, but I feel like we've just been left off, standing at the edge of a cliff, and like, okay, none of our questions were answered. We have more questions. I just kind of feel a little empty.
I hear you.
I don't feel like it was closed off for me, I guess. So that's my rating.
Kiki.
I am for this series as a whole, I will give it probably a 7.
Oh my God, you guys are so mean.
But the book itself, I'm still at a 5. I feel like it was literally just the travel montage of them all going around. Um, so there's another podcast I follow called The Smut Couch, which I sent you guys videos. They feel exactly the same way that I do about the thing. So I have to like it just I don't know. I'm maybe at the end of like when all 5 books are out, I will change everything. But this one was a 5.
I feel like my overall rating on Empyrean, I have to remember like how in love I was with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame too. Onyx Storm, I think it's hard because I want more answers. I feel like I want more answers. I want to know what's going on. But as a whole, as the overall series, I have to give it like I do love it. It's like an 8.5, 9 for me. I think for me, it's just there's so many moving parts. It's hard to kind of keep up. I literally have to keep like notes, which is, I guess, a good thing if I'm that invested to take notes, right? But I think for Onyx Storm, I think did I give it an 8 last time? I think it was an 8 or 7.5, Onyx Storm. Um, just because again, like one, we didn't get enough spice. It's a 2 on spice, right? And I did feel like at least in this one we got less brooding of Zayden and more like actual like, okay, we're talking to each other now. We're not being like little babies. Um, so that was good. But I think I'm sad to be left with so many questions.
I feel like that's probably everybody right now. And especially since Rebecca loves to leave it on a cliffhanger. And with this cliffhanger, it's like she's married. And then that's it. And then and like my favorite thing in this whole series is Samantha calling Imogen's power the Etch a Sketch. You just shake it and it's
Yes.
gone.
Her power is
Like
the Etch-a-Sketch.
yeah, like and it's
Oh,
just like, well, what like come on, don't leave it like that.
I know, I know. All right, let's get into our theories. Kayla, I know you had one theory that you wanted to start off with. So why don't you lay it on us? And then I know Jordan is like the queen of theories over there, so I'm really excited to dive into this with you.
There's so many theories right now. Um, the one that's most prevalent, which seems to have our house very divided, is the brothers who is they Like, who's the
The newest
brother?
recruit, the newest
Yeah,
recruit. Yeah.
who's his brother? I've seen so many different things because, like, as he's talking about it, we know it's not Jack, or at least we have a like pretty good assumption it's not Jack. So Sam thinks it's Garrick. I think it's Bodhi. Ashley,
I can't remember who I said it was.
you were on my team.
I want to say it was Garrick.
But
It
I've
was
seen
Garrick or
theories.
Bodie.
But I've seen theories of people being like, "Oh, it's Liam." As much as I
No.
love Liam and I want Liam back, it's Liam's. It's not Liam. It's just not Liam. So Jordan, whose side are you on?
I really think it's Garrick.
We're
Thank
all
you.
divided.
I do think it's Garrick. Yeah.
Why?
Um, because I feel like, so I just re-listened to the whole like chapter 50 to the very end of it. I just re-listened to it last night. And I feel like Bodhi was very stern. He was very like, no, like I don't want more. Like this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to be your right hand. Like I'm here to help you take care of things. Like I'm fine. And I feel like it would be very like in Rebecca's style to like have us overthinking what he's saying and kind of like not believe him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he said that, but like, is that like when push comes to shove, is that actually like how he's going to behave? Like, she would totally have us questioning that and like questioning our own sanity, you know?
Mm.
But at the very end, in the last chapter, Garrick is the only one that's mentioned that's missing. I feel like if Bodhi was missing because he was taken, I think someone would have noticed and said something. So
Yes,
that's my,
yes.
yeah.
I think that was kind of why I was like, it's Garrick, because he's mentioned by name in those last few pages of being like not there. And I don't know if you follow Rebecca Yarros at all, but she did do an interview and she was like, pay attention to who's not there. So I'm going with my gut on this one. Okay, so we're still tied.
It's still tied.
Listen, thank you for not letting the twins outnumber me.
I got you. I got you.
It's very rare that Ashley and I are on the same team with stuff because
It's
even though
actually
we
true.
look alike, we're very different. Very different.
Well, it's
And
just like I feel like maybe Rebecca, she's like, pay attention to who's not there. But at the same time, she also does like, hey, pay attention to this, but something's going on back here. So I don't,
Classic.
part of it's like is it a red herring that they pointed out Garrick wasn't there? But at the same time, like we know that they've been pushing Bodhi to, be the
well,
Duke,
and
but now all of a sudden Violet is married, makes her the Duchess. So she's the next one in line, not Bodhi, which I thought was interesting. And
yeah.
that Bodhi wouldn't take it over unless Bodhi wasn't there.
And that's exactly how I feel about it too, because it's obviously like they mention Garrick by name that he's not there. Um, but Rebecca said, notice who's not there. So we know Garrick's not there because she says it. But where's Bodhi? Like what?
Is he still
And
missing? Yeah, because they said there was a handful of writers missing, right? At the end?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
there's four of them still missing.
yep. And there's 6 eggs gone. So we had theories that we have two kind of sitting on the table. One is that because Arik is not there, or Prince Cam, um, one of our theories is that Cam has taken the eggs and he's gone to the Isles. The other one is that the Venom have taken the eggs.
Or somebody, yeah, or maybe somebody from the Isles came and stole eggs at the prime opportunity because we know somebody wanted eggs. We didn't know fully what their decision was on why they wanted the eggs. Like, is it just for combat related things or are they hoping to bring magic? Like, we have so many like twisted lost theories on that.
So I just had a thought that, okay, yes, Garrick and Bodhi are both mentioned that, or Garrick is mentioned that it's not there. Bodhi is just not there, right? And the fandom is in an uproar over the two of them, right? But like, what if they're literally both not there and it's because Garrick is, you know, off accidentally becoming venom, blah blah blah. But then Bodhi is the one who takes the eggs. Because what I think those eggs are going to Umbriel. Like I think that that's where they're going because that we were primed early on that the Isle of Umbriel wants they want 6 eggs. They want or however many, whatever they said. Um,
I do think you're right. I think they say 6.
or they say 2 from each den or something like that. So it would be 12 because they're unaware of the seventh breed, I think.
Yeah.
So what if Bodhi took 6 eggs
They're pro-
and went to Umbriel to get those people to bring all their forces to help them because now shit's really hitting the fan, you know? I
Yeah,
like so they could still
Is
both be gone.
is
I
Bodhi the
love that
Flash?
thought.
That's Bodhi, right?
no,
Is
Garrick's
Bodhi
the
the
Garrett,
Flash.
Flash?
I was
Garrett's
about
the
to say
Flash.
maybe it was Garrick
Ooh,
because he was
that's
because he
good.
can grab and gone, grab and gone, and be back and forth. But at the same time, we know that that would have been a great asset to have, especially if Zayden is spying on the Venom.
But we all
He
so
Garrett can come
which
back and forth.
I can definitely see the Garrick thing with that, particularly because he literally straight says after moving Imogen, um, I'm tapped out. I gotta go find something else to do. I'm burnt out, kind of thing. So if he did do one more step, he'd probably be pulling power. I
That's
also
what
feel
I'm
like
saying. Are you coming to the dark side? You
I
believe
don't
it's
think so.
Garrick?
I still don't think so. But I just realized, like, when Joy was saying 6 eggs, 6 done. So there's probably 1 egg of each
Oh my
breed. And
gosh, yes.
my I didn't even think of that. I don't know why I didn't think. I was like, oh, I just heard 6 eggs. It's probably so it's most likely one of each breed.
Which then would
So
make perfect sense that they're going to Umbriel because
yes.
the some of the Isler Islands, the seventh breed is already kind of there,
Am I weird
closer.
to also think in my head of like, okay, if these eggs are transferred there, they would be the heads of their,
Done.
I don't know, dens. And what do we know heads of dens create?
I don't know.
Ward stones.
Oh shit, yeah.
I mean, the only person that you would be missing would be Irid, but Irid's are
Who are already
already
kind of
in,
close
yeah,
by
they're
right
already
there.
out that way. So maybe it would
So
be pushing the wards and accessing magic to it.
so so Rebecca has said in interviews that where the magic is dispersed in this world has to do more with the geography than anything. Um, but I also think that the ward stone has to be created, like the stone itself has to be
Yeah,
created in order for the dragons to like do the things. Um, but yeah, I wonder, because
I
I
like
thought that,
getting
because I
lost.
originally thought that too. Like, is it the hatching grounds that create the magic? Like, because that's what I
Mhm.
originally thought, or like, I wonder.
Yeah, so that brings me to my next theory, and it's everyone's next theory because it's all over TikTok and Instagram, and we've talked about it as soon as we put that dang book down. It's like, are the dragons using the wrong magic? Or are they using like the same magic as the Venom and just pulling from a deeper source? And what is the source? So I feel like I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, the dragons are actually pulling magic from the earth as well. It's just deeper and you can't tell. So it's like
That's my theory.
that's
I've been
your
on it
theory.
since book one.
And but it's like, is there different types of magic? Like what is happening here? I don't know if I have an answer to this. This is just a question that I'm seeing all over the place.
I I feel like it would have to do with like the this is going to sound a little out there probably, but like maybe like the consent from the land sort of like dragons were like made to be able to like
Oh,
channel, you know what I mean? Like
okay.
they were created like with that idea in mind, you know what I mean? Venom
And
are people who take it without permission. Like they just take it because they feel like that's what they're owed. You know what I mean? So like the land or the source, wherever the magic comes from, has not given permission for the venom to be taking this magic, and that's why it has all of these terrible side effects. I feel like they've given the dragons and the griffins permission, and that's why, or and however that actually works. But I feel like it has to something to do with
Like a
that.
natural happening naturally versus synthetically, I guess is how I'd phrase it. Like,
Yes.
like you're already in nature, you're part of nature. But as soon as you roll in something that is not natural, there is a balance, again, back to balance. The balance gets swayed.
That makes me think of something that I was saying a long time ago about the nesting grounds. So like there used to be multiple nesting grounds and now there's not. And I wonder if it has something to do with like their nesting grounds being like having that I'm trying to word it and I can't. Jordan did it so perfectly. But like you said, like the consent, like it's like they're giving and pulling, like it's like melding with each other where the venom are just like, nope, I'm gonna take it all.
I
So
love that so
my
much.
mind's
I
blown.
like literally my brain just started like when you said that. I love it so much. And it makes so much sense. The dragons come from the land. Like you're from, yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's so good. I did not even think of that. Jordan, do you have any other theories? We have a lot of time, but I worded that really weirdly. But do you have other theories that like you wanna bring up? I'm dying to know.
So I have a few. So like so I originally had this like Brennan is a wyvern theory, and I'm not the only person on the internet that saw those connections and was like, wait a minute. Um, but so going into Onyx Storm, obviously I was on the lookout for that. Um, so my updated theory has to do with let's see, how do I want to lay this out? So
We feel you on that one.
I know, like how do I word this in a way that makes sense? Um, okay, so the original thought is that the rune on Brennan's palm has to do with how he was resurrected, and with the thought that when Naolin resurrected Brennan, Naolin had to pull from the source in order to, because he was a siphon, he had to pull from the source in order to siphon enough of Brennan's own healing magic to uh, resurrect him, bring him back to life, blah, blah, blah. And the rune shaped scar on his palm was some sort of like leftover something from that. Now that we have more information about the gods that we got from Onyx Storm, my updated thoughts and theories about this is that so when Naolin pulled, I still think that Naolin is Venom. I still think that
Agreed.
that happened, and it just yeah. So I think that when Naolin pulled from the source in order to resurrect Brennan, I think that in some way, shape, or form, he got the attention of one of the gods, and through some sort of bargain of some sort, he was able to dedicate Brennan to that god. And that's where the rune came from, because when you think about the priestesses of Dune and Theophany, they have the rune tattoos on their foreheads. I think that the rune shaped scar on Brennan's palm is that is the same, it's the same sort of thing. It has to do with one of the gods. Now, to sort of branch off of that theory, there's another really popular theory going around that the first six were basically the six gods, like champions.
Same. That's what one thing that we talked about.
Yes, yes. So, um, if we're bringing that into play, I have six people that I think go with it, and I can go through them and explain my thoughts. But I think that Brennan, because of this whole thing that happened, I think that that was a dedication to Malik, and that makes him Malik's champion, because coming back from the dead, his dragon's name literally means death. Like Asarai means resurrection. Like he is Malik's champion. Zanal is obviously Riddick. Loyal. So I think that Brennan and Xaden could be flip-flopped between Loyal and Malik. And it's really because like Naolin and Brennan, they were in love. There's no like
Mhm.
I feel like that part is it's kind of there. Um, so I think that it could have been a dedication to Malik that brought him back, or it could have been a dedication to Loyal because that sacrificing so much for someone that you love, like that could have been enough to bring him back or to get her attention to be like, hey, can you do this for me? Thanks. Um, Obviously Dune with Violet. I think Hedion is Dane, and then Amari is Rhiannon because there's been enough comparisons between them. Um, what that actually means moving forward, not really sure if it's going to be more like a symbolic connection between all of them or if the gods are actually going to like act through them to do something. Um, but then my other thought to continue going is what was the first drift? And why are they like, what are they going to do? Because we have the first six riders, the Emilian citrine that they have to get in order to um, speak to the king of Deverelli. Like that was a relic of the first drift. So is the first drift relevant? Are we gonna learn more about them? Is that gonna be another thing, another group of people that's gonna
Interesting.
like build on that side too? Like,
Are we gonna get a spin-off series about the dress?
I
that'd be
still
so
want a
cool.
Wouldn't
spin-off
that be?
series
I
of
have been
Lilith and Asher
I have been
because
on it with like I need Lilith and Asher's journals published. Like Rebecca needs to do full on journals that we can read. I don't care if it's like a together journal and Asher and Lilith's story or what, but I need more history from them. But I'm like I love that. I want to know more about the drift now.
Okay. So back to the beginning, right, where you were talking about Naolin. I agree. I think we all agree that Naolin is Venin. Um, do we think Naolin might be the sage?
that's what I was just wondering. I literally wrote down a note
Yeah.
because I was like, Sage? Question mark.
It
Right?
makes sense of why he wants uh Vi and Zayden.
So
Lay it out, Jordan. Lay it out.
I have more theories. Um, so I don't necessarily know if Nailin would be like the big, the person, because at the end, Theophany is talking about someone that she wants to essentially impress with her acquiring of Violet.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that that would be him. Uh, I've heard some theories. I think I've heard this from like fantasy fangirls, and it was that the big bad is going to be General Daramore, which was their first big enemy back 600 years ago when all of this first started to happen. Um, but I have a bit of a crack theory about where Naolin is now. And my hope is that somehow he has figured out a way around the like compulsive following of the sages because as we know
Mm,
when the initiates and the ASIMs like when they're still untrained there's the big like the sages will basically claim them and like
yeah.
try to like and then there's that bond that forms that we get to see at the end between Xaden and Berwin and they're like he's like I couldn't kill him even if I wanted to.
The
My
Lestat theory from
so
the vampire thing where they're like stuck together now.
The
right.
sire.
Right, exactly. That kind of thing. So my theory is that Naolin has somehow figured out a way around that, and he is leading a group of Venin who turned against their will, and he is teaching them from the inside how to get around that like compulsive need to serve, and he is going to help them take the Venin down from behind their own lines.
That's
Ooh, I
amazing.
like it.
Do we think Theophany was in that camp?
No.
Part of me is like hopeful, but the other
I don't
part of me
think,
is like she was murking people.
She was having a damn good time.
She's having a great time. She loved it. But she
She gave me
gone
such
now, so
theories. She
I
gave me
mean,
so many things like the last well, we thought they were going to be like another 10 chapters, but they ended up being 6 chapters. That last 10 was like, ooh, that like we had a bunch. So when like, because that we're recording this before that episode is released, but we had so many theories about like ending up with her, the runes on, like you said, the stuff on her forehead. Obviously she was a priestess, and one of the things that has stuck with me so hard was the excerpt from chapter 52 that said the only way to get closest to the gods is to work in the temple or serve the gods in the temple or be a rider. And I cannot get off of this, like, and that's why theophany, see guys, I can't say
you
it.
did it. You did it.
Why she does what she does, and she was able to pull power before, so it makes sense now that we know that the temple, I don't want to call them servants, but like the temple worshipers or caregivers, however we want to do that,
acolytes.
because there's acolytes,
Acolyte.
um can pull power too, because she wasn't a rider. She was very clearly easy to just pull out the power. So it just
But
shows
that
that.
goes along with Jordan. That goes along with your theory too.
Mhm.
From that excerpt, like the first six being related to like being kind of like God adjacent, right? Or being like the people on, I don't want to say the word disciple. That's like too much. I can't. But like
They're
yeah,
champions.
they're
They're champions.
champions. The
Yeah.
champions. Yeah, that's the word you use. That's so good. Oh my gosh, so many things are clicking now. What do y'all think happened in that secret meeting that has been etched a sketch from our minds? I mean, Violet's mind.
Am I the only person who like gets the brain thought or the song from Hamilton? Room where it happened, the room where it happened. Like I want to be in the room where it happened.
I think she definitely knows where those eggs went and who has them. She 100% has that information. Um, and she definitely knows, like, she knows where Zayden went, and she definitely knows which one of them is the new brother. Um,
But doesn't
but
everyone else? Like, you know what I
I
mean?
don't think,
No,
I
I
don't,
have a feeling that the only person who might know outside of Violet might be Imogen, but I could totally see her just going like her, because she's the ringleader. She's our heroine. So I definitely see her knowing all of this stuff. Zayden kissing her, saying "I love you," getting on Sigale, which that's another theory we got to dive into. And then like Imogen walking up as Zayden's flying away. Like I can totally see that. And then Violet turning to her and saying, "You have to remove everything in my head." Um, and like kind of giving her some details, but like just again, I kind of think that Violet's the only one who might know. And she went to Imogen and said, "That's just sketch, baby."
Yeah, that's a good point.
I love the Etch a Sketch. That's such a funny way to put that.
We're
Yes,
gonna
Just
get it on a
like,
t-shirt, and when we do, we're sending you one.
yeah, please do. Please do. So good.
um, so okay. So it kind of ties into like your theory of these different camps of Venin, right? So like one, I love that that it's like Naolin is still good, right? We still have, and we
He's
have that
trying.
little bit at the end, yeah, where Xaden, we get the Xaden chapter and we hear him kind of saying like, but then that I love you slipped in before I totally turned to stone or ice or whatever that analogy was. Um, so also Ashley, I can see you on the Google Doc right now, just turning everything black. Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
so
George.
I
She's like
remember
crossing
what
off
we've
what we've
talked
talked
about and what we
about and
haven't.
completely derailed. Like the ADHD was like, oh no, what's happening? Um, where
Sorry.
was I going with this? Oh, the different camps and the different camps of Venin. Do we think that like how much information do the dragons know about this? because there's so much where, especially toward the end of Onyx Storm, where it's hinting to, oh, but dragons lie. Dragons don't always tell the truth. Dragons aren't telling their riders everything. So do we think that like Xaden now being Venin, do we think that he and Sigale are going to be back together because she's seeing he's in this like better quote unquote camp of Venin, like where they're trying not to like totally destroy everything? Like, is there truly a better camp? Like, I don't know. Like, what? Because I feel
And
like in so many stories, right? So many fiction, fantasy stories, like they're always like on the line of good and evil is your motive. What is your motive for things ends up being a lot of times like what makes you a good person, bad person. It's like, yes, I'm doing questionable things, but it's for a good cause. So do we think that like do we think Sigale knows about things? Do we think Terran knows about things being one of the older dragons? Do we think they know about this? Like how much do we think they're hiding? Do we have theories regarding dragons and what they are or are not telling their riders?
I think if there's a split anywhere within the Venin, I don't think that the dragons would know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would.
they're
I
like
think
the Empyrean. They have their own set of rules and info.
Split. Mhm.
I think that the
Mhm.
dragons definitely keep a lot of their riders like not privy to. They do the Xaden approach where they're not lying to you, they're just selectively choosing to tell you stuff. And then when you ask, they selectively give you an answer. And I think Taryn, I don't know necessarily Taryn that does it, but Sigale for sure does it all the time. Just on like her responses and stuff, she was definitely more friendly to Violet the last few chapters between the two battles. Like she opened up more, and I think that it was. I've been saying pretty much the majority of the time that Xaden needs to get back on track with Sigale. He needs to ride her power and kind of done that, but obviously it's long gone now. We ain't going back. Um, but and I think it's very obvious that dragons and the riders keep stuff from each other too. But I wonder what the extent of that is. So like I think Taryn's pretty open with Violet, but there's stuff that like he's like, oh, you didn't ask.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have a couple questions popped in my head for you guys. Just because we're on the Terran, Sigale, Zayd, and Violet, which one do you think is more harmful or harder to do? Break a mated bond or a dragon rider bond? Which one do you think, Sigale? Which one would be the least painful if, because Sigale, if she goes with Zayd, it goes off wherever Zayden is, she will have to break the bond with Taryn because they cannot, that's the whole thing is 7 days. That's what they've been allotted to see each other. Is it
So
easier for her to
I
bond or is it going to be easier to dispel Zayden?
so I don't know what would be easier. Didn't they say in the beginning like if Taryn and Sigale like one of them died, the other one's a goner. And because their power is so strong, like
Yeah.
their riders are goners too. But I actually think in this case, because we know we got from what was his name? Leothan was the Irid, right, who came over and fired the
Mhm.
Ward Stone. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He kind of gave us some intel that Irids can kind of bend and change magic, which is how Andarna broke that bond with Violet. So I do think I don't know the answer to your question. That I have no idea, but I do think that Andarna was there and she was able to somehow like make that bond so it didn't have to be so horrible to break. Whatever bond was broken, right? It's probably the mating bond, right?
Yeah, I would think that it would be the mating bond because if anything, I think of it as like Xaden accepting that this is where he is now and he's like going into like deep cover he's like, okay, yes, I have to do this. Like, and I'm thinking that like he's gonna like have every intention of like trying to figure out how to take down the venom from the inside. And then he and Naolin are gonna like cross paths.
Yeah.
But
I love that theory so much.
in order for that to like be successful, because he still has that like compulsive, he has to report to Berwyn, like that like compulsive loyalty. Um, in order for him to like be successful, like him and like Taryn and Sigel would have to break the bonds so that they can go off and not worry about any sort of information leaks at all.
Do you think there's a
Or like,
chance that Andarna broke the bond between Sigale and Xaden?
Maybe I don't know if it's between
It's
them two,
tough.
but I
Yeah.
feel like she definitely would have had, maybe she could have figured out, because Leothin told her like you can reforge the bond when you come back, and she obviously did that. So she had to have figured out that what that thread of magic looks like and how to manipulate it when it comes to bonds. So maybe she was the one who helped facilitate that and maybe keep it from killing them all.
I almost think that it's kind so we all know how Violet goes into her Twilight Bella depression after Darna leaves. Is that what's happening to Taryn right now, being asleep?
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yep,
I
Yeah.
think
definitely.
that Indarna probably changed the bond, like, or like the way I'm seeing it is
Dampened
like
it,
it's like silly
maybe.
putty, and she's stretching the bond so that they can go longer and farther, where they're still together.
I know
Taryn is
I
Taryn,
like
know
the
a
queen of
I know a pill for
innuendos.
that.
oh, our mothers watch this show. But I think it's like that. I think that Indarna definitely did some magic, which of course it's not like Imogen, yeah, Imogen needs to worry about just sketching a dragon because a dragon's going to keep to themselves. And like, I mean, we already know that dragons don't necessarily talk to other dragons unless they kind of have to. Taryn has always made it seem like it is a chore to have to give information to another dragon, even
Hmm.
to
You
like
know
trying to give
who
information to the wing leader is an issue, and you're mated to like he always throws a fit.
you know what Taryn truly reminds me of? Do you guys remember Treebeard from Lord of the Rings?
100%.
He's like,
Literally, I
I
think I
never
have it.
thought to ask, and it takes a long time to speak in tree. That's what I hear from Taryn's mouth every time.
Literally, when they went to Umbriel and they were on like the island
Quest.
where they were burying oh my God. Why am I having a brain fart? What was his name? Kat's boyfriend?
Traeger.
Oh,
Traeger. Yeah, I knew it was gonna come to me. See, there's so many characters I like can't just recall them instantly. It's so bad. So when they're like Traeger's Island, and then they meet the Irids, and they're all like gathered. I literally have it in my notes where it was like, "This is 100% a meeting of the Ents."
yes, I remember that. I remember that. Oh,
It's so
totally,
ridiculous.
totally agree. Do so now that we've finished the book entirely, is there one quote that finishes like your entire feelings of one particular character? So like mine, obviously is Taryn saying, "Do not dehydrate on my part." Still my favorite line
Your favorite
in the book.
quote? I have to go back to other
I
notes
know.
to
I'm
see.
double checking mine.
Everybody's checking.
I mean, there were so many good ones. Ah, Jordan, do you have any?
I have a bunch, but I was highlighting some funny ones earlier today, and um, one of them was Taryn says, "Go find a sheep and let the adults work."
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna follow Jordan's, and mine. This is gonna be from the whole series. Is quiet, cadet. The officers are talking in true mirror fashion.
I
Hmm.
still the banter that's one thing that Rebecca Yarros does phenomenal at is and the inner monologues and the banter back and forth between Violet, Grandpa Taryn, and Darna, and just but Taryn in a whole like he says stuff like Pop used to say stuff where he just say it and we all would lose it. Like, how's your salad, Pop? Do you ever like eating grass clippings? That is a Taryn quote. That is who I think of. So
Grumpy old
A
man.
motivational calendar with the Empyrean quotes in it.
oh my God. No, just Taryn. Not even it. Just
That
Taryn.
is a $1 trillion idea.
We need to get
Let's
on
get
this
on
right
it.
now, guys.
Yeah.
Fire up the Canva Pro. I also love like the interaction between just like the friendship bonds. I think that's like always my favorite part of any book. I'm like, oh, they're besties. I love Riddick. It's not a quote, but a Riddick giving everyone a group hug before they go out onto their next mission. He's like, come on, bring it in. Just like love that for him. I love him so much. And then when they're in talking, Riddick finds out that Xaden turned and she has a lightning strike, right? And he's like explaining to Xaden, and Xaden's like well aware that wasn't a big enough strike.
I forgot about that part.
So funny.
Or
So good.
Riddick
So
going,
good.
I fuck like a third year.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Perfect question for us all to answer. Out of the series, who is your I'm sorry, Mom. Who's your fuck, marry, kill?
Oh my
Out of the
God,
series.
Okay,
Kayla.
Why have we
answer
never
the
talked
kill
about
one
this? This is
for all
perfect.
of us. It's gonna be Jack Barlow.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No,
wait.
no,
No,
no.
you have to give us three. Give us. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So I'll start this off because I got mine in my head. My first one, to marry is Liam. I love Liam. You all know this. Liam is literally my husband with crack jokes and everything. I am probably doing Riddick just because again I love Riddick. He is my soul character just because it's again, you all know me. I use humor to try to like diffuse stuff. And so I feel like people always kind of assume like, oh, you're just a jokester, or like this isn't like kind of putting me into that category. And I'm killing Varish.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
a
kill
good
Varys, but
one.
Varys is killed.
Yes, but I would like to have the opportunity to do it myself.
Yeah. Ash, do you have one?
I'm writing down some ideas right now. Come back to me.
Okay. Jordan, are you ready?
Uh, yes, I would fuck Riddick. I feel like it would just happen, and then we would wake up the next morning and be like, all right, moving on. Um, I feel like I would marry Garrick. He just strikes me as the kind of guy that you want to marry because he just seems very stable. Um, which is probably a good thing because I am absolute chaos. Uh, um, and let's see. No, I'm gonna change that. I also might marry Dane. I might. I might. I might. I'm a firm believer in his redemption arc.
Yeah.
Um,
You
and
have just made Rebecca Yaros's like life because everybody
like
hates Dane and she's like, be nice to him.
I love a little trauma. I love a little like we have to learn from our mistakes and become better people because of it. Xaden has a little too much trauma for me. I don't like I
It's too broody. No one
it's a
needs that.
it's a lot for me as a person. It's a lot for me as a person. And I would kill Jack Barlow. I just real quick. Like just
Yeah.
I feel like
into
Jordan and
traffic.
I are like so tight on our thought processes because I said Ash Garrick, and then I was torn between marrying Roddick or Dane. And you guys are gonna die when I say this. I would have killed Halden.
Oh, that's I forgot about him. He's
He
very
fucks up
unmemorable, but yeah.
everything.
But
All right,
Halden
I've
has a
got
pretty
one.
face.
Wait,
I've
can I
got a
tell you who I'm
question.
gonna marry and you all are
Dead.
gonna literally drop your jaws?
Do it.
Why are we not marrying Rhiannon? She is clearly the most qualified.
I thought
Marrying
about it.
Rhiannon.
The most qualified.
She
I
definitely has
love
the best
her
bedtime.
so much, so much. Obviously, fucking Riddick. Like, I love that we're on the same page there.
Oh yeah.
And he probably wouldn't even care. Um, and I said kill Papa Atos. I just
Ooh, that's a
dislike.
good one too.
Yeah.
I love that we all chose somebody different to kill. We could
We're
It's
agree to
good
all
kill
that
fucking
them.
the same
we get
person.
rid of all of the unwanted characters. All like I mean, we're
Yeah.
good. We're
What's
good.
Yeah.
everybody? Who do you ship the most?
Oh, Sloan and
I,
Dane.
Sloan and
I,
Dane. Oh my God, Sloan and Dane. I need
Sloan
that.
and
I
Dane.
need that.
That line he gave her, oh,
Dane, eyes
melts
here,
my
Atos.
bones.
I
Like,
absolutely love the two of them. Ashley, I'm calling yours right now. Yours is going to be Drake and Mira.
yes,
That's
I
I
love
do
my
love
Mira.
second.
I
that.
That's
want
my
her to have a
second
happy
ship.
ending.
And they
And
even have
broccoli.
broccoli.
And this is why we're twins.
We don't always agree, folks, but sometimes we just have a twin connection.
Just
Sam,
protect broccoli at all costs. I don't care. Just protect broccoli at all
Broccoli
costs,
for
please.
president.
I love broccoli. Oh my gosh. Any other
you haven't given
theories?
us yours.
No, I just
Favorite ships.
broccoli.
Just broccoli.
Just broccoli. Broccoli.
If it
Independent broccoli.
independent broccoli, living they dream, Just like I love the fan art of broccoli. Wait, I we need to talk about broccoli. I love the fan art of broccoli, just like a little kitten, just like on the dragon. No, I love Mira. Uh, Mira getting to find some love, not having to like protect her sister anymore is really, really lovely. Sloane and Dane, yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I
There's
honestly, I shipped Mira and Serena so hard until we got this book. I was like really hoping that we were going to get that.
we did too. I
Yeah.
feel like we talked because so how this whole podcast started is because we started reading. Ashley convinced us, let's read Fourth Wing together. So we read it and then we were all like, oh my God, she's gonna end up like, who is she gonna end up with? Who's Mira? Because we all wanted Mira to have like somebody, and I do feel like we had a whole section about how we felt like Mira was kind of just getting to back burner, like with her parents and everything. Like she kept getting back burner and she needed somebody. Um, so we definitely were shipping that prior to Drake coming in.
Also, I definitely thought Imogen and Quinn were together the whole fucking time. The entire time. I was like, cool, they're together. And then it was like, you were supposed to marry so. And it's like, what? What is happening here?
Yeah, I forgot all about that because it's in book
Mm-hmm.
one that she's like pining over Garrick, but then like,
Mm-hmm.
I
but
mean, we're
it's
all pining over
Rhiannon
Garrick.
who's sleep who like I felt awful. Like my brain was mush at this point because like you said, there's so many people to follow their storylines. It just
What's book four gonna look like? Give me the bullet
Heartbreak.
notes.
A mess.
It's gonna be a mess.
It's going to be a mess.
If one thing is consistent, we know we're gonna pick up right where this book ended, because every other one has been like this. I think that we'll probably get more like point of views, right? Not just Violet's point of view. Um, I hope we'll get more answers.
I'm
I
gonna
I like
call
wonder,
page one, paragraph one. Is Violet continuously going after Imogen for what the fuck did you do? Guaranteed.
I I was going to say, I wonder if we're going to have like a maybe like a mild interrogation of Imogen. Cause like she obviously knows what happened. You know what I mean? Like, and is it like Violet wanted her memory erased because of the emotional damage, or because she actually had sensitive information that can't get leaked?
that's
You
one of
know?
our that was literally how like what we all were saying. We're like, it's one of two, and we all are banking on hoping that it's that she has all that information, but what if it's an emotional thing?
Right, because then Imogen would have all of that information, so that would almost defeat the purpose of Violet not wanting that information.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's a thought. Do you think Violet would push Dane to read Imogen's memories
But
on what
Imogen can't
happened?
steal memories, right? As far as we
She
know,
can't
she just
erase it, but she
wipes
was
stuff.
present when Violet asked her to erase that.
Oh
So
yeah.
she could have Dane pull up this. This is the memory I want. I want to
I
know
The
don't
exactly what
file.
happened.
I don't know, right? I don't know if we would go back to
I would,
like weaponizing Dane like that. Like maybe someone in leadership would like
yeah,
suggest it, but I feel like because we're very firmly in Dane's like redemption
camp.
sort of, I feel like yeah, I feel like we wouldn't go there again.
Part of me thinks that Dane's with Imogen when she erases her memory. I don't know why, but I just picture Imogen, Dane, like I don't know. I don't know why, but I just imagine them both being in the room and Dane kind of being like, "Are you sure?" And then being like, "Okay, let's go. Like, let's do this." And then like I don't know why I pictured him there with Imogen when she races it.
Hmm. I mean, they were gone for 14 hours. I'm pissed off that she decided just to etch a sketch all those sex scenes that were happening in those 14 hours. Like what? Like why?
Some venom sex scenes.
Oh. Give it to no, I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
There's
I don't know.
definitely at
I
least
really
one.
hope, yeah, totally, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they just got married. Like, what the heck?
They have to
Gotta
consummate the
consummate
marriage.
it.
It's right. It's gotta happen.
What
Some
if she's just
hot
like, but
temple
leave that
sex.
one, Imogen. Just leave that one piece, please. Put it in the stink bank. Um, so I cannot. I'm done. Like my brain is like, I can't. Um,
That's why you're here for the spice.
yeah, exactly. That's all my brain can think about. Yeah, I think that we're gonna get, I really do hope we get Xaden perspective in the next book because I think that all of our questions about why are the Venom even in existence, like what's going on here, like all of these questions I feel like will be answered. Just kidding. I don't feel like they'll all be answered. I do think we'll get a little more insight. There's no way we're getting all of that. But
I was gonna say, I was wondering if we were gonna go. I feel like we're definitely gonna go to Loisum. Is that the one for Loyal, the Isle for
mhm.
Loyal? And I think that that is probably gonna be the place where we get the like download of like the gods choosing their champions. I feel like out of all of them, I feel like I don't know, I just like we have all of these questions about the gods still, and there's still one isle that we haven't been to yet. So I feel like that isle is going to have a lot of those answers. Not all of them, but I think that that one's going to have a lot of answers for those.
I wonder if it'll bring us some like nail-in answers as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, is this where like Naolin's chilling?
Yeah, right. What if he's just there?
He's just chilling. He's just chill like Loki style, just like feet kicked back. Like, I'm just here. I'm just here for the
I'm not
vibes.
from here.
Like,
I'm chilling.
There's so many things. But I kind of feel like that too. And I was literally trying to look up when you were talking about like the gods and like who their champions are. And I was like, who is Dune's lover? And I was like, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't find it. So I was like, clearly she hasn't written that yet. Or maybe I just didn't dig deep enough. I will have to do more research.
but I'm
Uh,
glad that we're not crazy thinking about like the gods being a big part of it coming up. So Jordan, you validated us because we were but there's not been a ton in the beginning, but that seems to be the direction. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ash, you had two more questions?
I have questions for Jordan. We know what Kayla and Sam's answers were. Jordan, what quadrant would you belong to?
I would be a writer,
All
100%.
right. You would be a writer. What kind of
Yeah.
dragon would you be on?
Pro- Probably a green, I would say.
That tracks. The
Yeah,
little
probably
we
a
know
green.
about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would your signet be?
Ooh, I would probably be an agrarian.
oh,
Ooh.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I like it.
I'm a plant lady. I would grow things.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We
That's
have
amazing.
our writers quadrant formed, guys.
I would
We're
say
all in
this
our
is
rider black.
What are you guys? What are your signets?
so what I forgot what my signet because there's a certain name for it. What was the one Ash like the Jean
You were the
Grey
mind
power?
reader? Is that what you said you were?
I wanted to be able to move everything with
Oh,
Oh,
my
a telepath?
Oh,
yes,
telekinesis.
telepath. And I am an
Oh, telepath.
Indarna dragon to the core because it's like I like to blend in here. I like to do this. I want to be this color. I want to be that color.
mhm.
And I Samantha has Indarna's attitude for sure. Like you just like whip out like the etch a sketch.
The one-liners.
Yes, Sam is the one-liner queen. So, but I remember that I wanted the Jean Grey power, and I was in Darna Dragon. Um, Ashley or which who wants to go next?
I
Yeah.
can't remember. I think I also said green. Did I say green? Because they're also like kind of intelligent, right? They're like,
Yeah.
right. Mostly because I wanted to have good chat. And then I think my power was like talking to animals.
Yeah, it was something to do with animals.
Which
Okay,
we
so
said
you
was
and
going to
I,
be great for
we would be
spying on
friends.
people.
Yes.
Right? I'm just like, cool, like little bug, go listen in.
And
That's
then
like, you know.
Ashley was our debate because she thinks she's a black dragon. And
No,
Sam and I were
I
like,
was
she's a
no.
blue.
No, Kayla thought she was a black dragon.
No, I'm in Darna.
Start a
I'm
podcast
said-
with your sisters, they said.
I said I was a blue dragon and that my signet power was chameleon. That
yeah.
Are you
I
two
had
the
a
same as so original twins?
no, my not even close. But I had a boss previously tell me, don't be a chameleon, don't blend in. And so I'm like, I am completely content blending in and, sitting back and watching everybody else do chaos or whatever. If you need me to do something, I'll do it. But, my husband's in the military.
Like
We move every 3
invisibility?
years.
Blend in?
Like
Like, is
like
that
blending in and being able to fit. I don't want to say fit in because
like mimic into like a like
yeah,
Being
like
able to, go into
I'd
like
be a great spy.
yeah.
I can
'Cause I
blend
do remember
in,
this
like my
conversation
presence
before.
doesn't need to be known kind of thing. Like not necessarily like Mystique, from the X-Men, but just have a neutral presence, I guess.
cool.
So,
Like, okay, this might be like a deep cut reference, but have you guys seen Doctor Who?
yeah.
Okay, so like when we first meet Amy Pond and there's the perception filter that keeps her from seeing that doorway in her house where like she just looks at it and then her eyes just slide away and then you just
Yeah.
keep that's
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking of.
That's
Like you
so
can be
funny.
standing
Something like
right in front
that.
of you, but like your eyes just like don't see it.
That
Yes,
is a
that's
deep
exactly
cut
it.
reference. I love it so much. I had like a Doctor Who phase where I was like, let's watch the old ones.
I'm still in my Doctor Who
so
phase.
good. So
It'll
good.
never stop. It'll never end.
Yes, that's
I love
amazing.
it.
Thank you, Jordan, so much for joining us. I had a blast. I hope you did too. We would have you on anytime, and hopefully, you're reading some of the other books that we're covering. We're doing Crescent City next. I don't know. Have you read Crescent City?
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Okay,
Oh
okay.
yes.
Woman after my own heart.
So this will be my first time and Ashley or Kayla's first time. Sorry, I get them
My
confused. No.
goodness. Welcome to it.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Kayla and I are both about halfway through the first. Kayla's a little further than me. So we're really excited. But this has been Girl What Page You On. Hopefully you'll join us next week. This episode drops on March 21st. And next time we'll be covering the first half of our Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. So get reading.
I have been trying to get them to read Crescent City forever.
Oh my,
It is
are you
so
guys
good.
reading or are you listening?
Listening.
They're listening. I've read it.
I So this is where I became a little farther than Samantha.
Why
Also, what
didn't
is
that
your dog's
angel
name?
join us sooner?